gotta be honest, I don't know if I can follow up after that. So if I disappoint, I apologize in advance. That was fantastic. Good morning. It's so nice to see you all here celebrating this momentous occasion for yourselves and your families. I would like to start with a quote that resonated with me while watching a movie with my children. It's not about what it is about what it can become. It's from Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. Yes, I have children, so. This particular quote became the mantra of my journey with WGU Texas. It became my shortened teaching philosophy and my lifelong learning inspiration. It is also the theme of my biology classroom this year at Daniel 9th grade campus in Aledo. Go Bearcats! Let me take you back in time. You see, there were many labels that were applied to young Rachael Black in the 1990s. Impoverished, oldest of 6, prison inmate's daughter, neglected and abused, hungry and uneducated, but mostly just destined to be unsuccessful. You see, my circumstances at the time, they taught me a lot about what I was. And through my perceptions, or through many perceptions, I was a plethora of statistics, those small, significant numbers that said I would most likely not apply to a higher institution of learning. And if I did, the best advice a teacher that could provide would have been, may the odds be ever in your favor. For some of us, being a statistic isn't a bad thing. I mean, after all, we are with like-minded people, and we're comfortable where we stand in life. I was not one of those people. Through a series of lifelong challenges, I began to see not what I was, but what I could become. I learned a lot through my trials and opportunities in life, but none as big as the importance of college. Graduating from a 4-year institution would lay the groundwork for my children to become educated, and for them to live a childhood on the opposite side of the spectrum of my own. It was no longer an option, it was an obligation. But poverty is a wall that's made of bricks. And those bricks are titled, "I'll never be able to afford this." They block the sun from shining in on our leaves. And one of my bricks was subtitled, "College." It took many shoves to remove that burdensome brick from my wall, and one of them was WGU Texas. Finding an affordable and flexible university was the key to me finally obtaining my degree. And now all I needed was to unlock and open the window to let the light in. During my 3.5 years at WGU Texas, I gradually began to flourish into what I was meant to become, a teacher. Thank you. Being a science teacher, a statistic, I was no more, as Yoda would say. My life was no longer about what I was. It was about what I had become. I had become part of the 30% of low-income high school students that had actually applied to a higher institution of learning. And it was even possible for me to become the 15% that graduated. And I did. Kappa Delta Pi, by the way. This is my first year as an official teacher of record. And oh, how that brings a smile to my face. As you can tell, I've been smiling all day. I've arrived like Marty McFly on a hoverboard. And although this is a huge accomplishment for me, it is not why I'm exultant. I'm exultant for the opportunity to teach and influence. There's someone in the audience today, I don't know where she's at, but she's somewhere out there, who was my mentor and my savior. She was an example of who I wanted to be, my 7th grade science teacher. She was Mrs. Ward then, but now she's Mrs. Hanner. I wanted to be her so much that I put together a resume, a portfolio, and I interviewed to take her position. And I did. Thank you. My junior high school had an amazing program that was called School to Life, where students learned how job applications and interviews and positions worked. I was Mrs. Ward's science teacher for 1 day, and that's all it took to solidify my calling. She asked me at the end of the day, "How did you do it, girl? How did you handle those kids so well?" I knew it was because I was one of them. I was no better than most and far below some of the others. Everyone had a rough life. We were each just challenged differently than others. Often we ask ourselves why we're chosen to endure the trials in our lives. I know my reason now. It was to teach me that it wasn't about all those things that I was. It was about what I could become. And more importantly, how I could help other young people, just like me, find their become. Now, it's your turn, graduates. Today is your day. Good luck.
When you know our students, you know how incredibly humbling and what an honor it is to be Chancellor of WGU Texas. So thank you to all of our student speakers. They are absolutely fantastic. So please, another round of applause.